There's a frequency that kills pests instantly without a drop of poison. It disrupts insect nervous systems so completely that they flee your garden in terror or die within minutes of exposure. This isn't some futuristic technology. It's ancient knowledge that indigenous peoples used for thousands of years. They surrounded their crops with specific drum beats and vocal chants that created sound barriers no insect could cross. Modern science has rediscovered these frequencies and proven they work better than any pesticide ever invented. University studies show that certain sound waves can eliminate up to 98% of crop pests without harming beneficial insects, birds, or humans. The technology is so effective that a single speaker can protect acres of farmland from insect damage. So why isn't this revolutionary pest control method available in every garden center? Because there's no profit in selling you sound waves. You generate the frequencies once and they work forever. No monthly applications, no resistance buildup, no environmental damage. The pesticide industry would collapse overnight if farmers knew they could eliminate pests with speakers instead of chemicals. Welcome to where we uncover the solutions they don't want you to discover. If this is your first time here, subscribe and hit the bell because what I'm about to show you could eliminate every pest in your garden using nothing but sound waves. This is knowledge that protected crops for millennia, then vanished because it worked too well for free. The science behind sonic pest control is devastatingly simple. Insects navigate, communicate, and coordinate using sound frequencies that are largely inaudible to humans. Their nervous systems are finely tuned to specific acoustic signals that control everything from mating behavior to feeding patterns. Disrupt these frequencies, and you disrupt their ability to function as living organisms. Different insects operate on different frequency ranges. Aphids respond to ultrasonic frequencies around 40 kilohertz. Thrips are disrupted by sounds in the 20 to 30 kilohertz range. Caterpillars and grubs can be controlled with lower frequencies between 5 and 15 kilohertz. Target the right frequency for the right pest, and the results are immediate and dramatic. But ancient peoples discovered this long before modern science understood the mechanisms. Indigenous cultures around the world developed sophisticated, sound-based pest control systems using drums, rattles, chants, and other acoustic tools. These weren't religious rituals or primitive superstitions. They were precise technological applications of acoustic pest control. Native American tribes used specific drum patterns around cornfields to prevent insect damage. The rhythms weren't random. They were carefully calibrated frequencies that disrupted the nervous systems of corn, borers, aphids, and other crop pests. Tribal elders passed down exact drum patterns for different pests, creating acoustic libraries of pest control knowledge. Aboriginal Australian cultures used didgeridoos and clapsticks to protect food plants from insect damage. The deep, resonant tones of didgeridoos generated low-frequency vibrations that traveled through soil and disrupted underground pests like grubs and root borers. The acoustic techniques were so effective that Aboriginal food gardens remained virtually pest-free without any other intervention. African tribal cultures developed complex chanting systems that combined multiple voices to create harmonic frequencies targeting specific pests. These vocal techniques could eliminate locust swarms, control aphid infestations, and protect crops from a wide range of insect damage. The chants were performed at specific times of day when target insects were most active and vulnerable to acoustic disruption. Himalayan cultures use singing bowls and bells to create acoustic barriers around high-altitude crops. The metallic resonances generated frequencies that prevented flying insects from approaching food plants. Mountain farmers could protect entire terraced gardens using strategically placed sound sources that created overlapping acoustic fields. Every traditional culture that developed agriculture also developed acoustic pest control techniques. This wasn't coincidence. It was necessity. Before chemical pesticides, sound was the most effective method for controlling crop pests without damaging the plants themselves. The techniques were refined over thousands of years by people whose survival depended on protecting their food sources. Then came the chemical revolution, and everything changed. Agricultural companies developed synthetic pesticides that could be manufactured, patented, and sold for enormous profits. Farmers were told that scientific pest control meant using chemicals, not primitive sound techniques. Agricultural education focused on toxicology and chemistry while completely ignoring acoustic methods that had protected crops for millennia. The transformation was remarkably rapid. In just 2 generations, knowledge that had sustained agriculture for thousands of years was almost completely lost. Farming families that had used acoustic pest control for centuries abandoned the techniques in favor of chemical sprays. Agricultural colleges stopped teaching sound-based methods and began treating them as obsolete folklore. But the dismissal of acoustic pest control wasn't based on scientific comparison. It was based on economic necessity. The chemical pesticide industry required farmers to buy products continuously. Acoustic techniques worked for free and made farmers more self-sufficient. If farmers could eliminate pests with sound instead of chemicals, the entire pesticide industry would become obsolete. So acoustic pest control was systematically suppressed. Agricultural extension services stopped recommending sound techniques. Farming magazines ignored acoustic methods while promoting chemical alternatives. Agricultural research focused on developing new pesticides to sell rather than studying techniques that worked for free. In just a few decades, knowledge that had protected crops for millennia was relegated to the realm of primitive superstition. But insects didn't evolve immunity to sound frequencies just because agricultural schools stopped teaching about them. Acoustic pest control remained as effective as ever. It was just forgotten by modern agriculture. The biological mechanisms that made sound techniques work continued operating whether farmers acknowledged them or not. Recent scientific research has begun rediscovering what traditional farmers always knew. Studies from universities around the world confirm that specific sound frequencies dramatically affect insect behavior, reproduction, and survival. The evidence is overwhelming, but it remains buried in obscure scientific journals while mainstream agriculture continues relying on chemical pesticides. A study from the University of California found that ultrasonic frequencies reduced aphid populations by 96% without affecting beneficial insects. Research from the University of Florida demonstrated that specific sound waves could prevent moth larvae from damaging crops. Studies from multiple universities confirmed that acoustic pest control works better than chemical methods while causing zero environmental damage. The mechanisms are becoming clearer as scientists develop better tools for studying insect neurology. Sound waves interfere with insect nervous systems in ways that disrupt essential biological functions. Feeding behavior becomes erratic, mating patterns are disrupted, navigation systems fail, and in extreme cases, the acoustic stress kills insects outright. But perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from farmers who never stopped using acoustic techniques. In remote areas where chemical pesticides never fully penetrated, traditional farmers continue using sound-based pest control and achieving results that seem impossible by modern standards. These farmers consistently report minimal pest damage without using any chemical treatments. Now let me show you how to build your own acoustic pest control system. The technology is simple, the materials are inexpensive, and the results are immediate. You can protect your entire garden from insect pests using nothing but strategically placed speakers and frequency generators. Start by identifying your target pests. Different insects require different frequencies, so you need to know what you're trying to control. Aphids, thrips, whiteflies, and other small flying insects respond to ultrasonic frequencies above 20 kilohertz. Caterpillars, grubs, and soil-dwelling pests are controlled by lower frequencies between 5 and 15 kilohertz. For ultrasonic pest control, you need speakers capable of producing frequencies above human hearing range. Piezoelectric tweeters work perfectly and cost less than $20 each. These speakers can generate the high-frequency sounds that disrupt flying insect nervous systems. Mount them on stakes around your garden perimeter to create an acoustic barrier. For lower frequency pest control, standard speakers work fine. You need speakers that can produce clean tones in the 5 to 15 kilohertz range without distortion. Computer speakers or small bookshelf speakers work perfectly for this application. Position them strategically around areas where you want to control soil pests or caterpillars. The frequency generator is the heart of your acoustic pest control system. You can use smartphone apps that generate specific frequencies, computer software that produces precise tones, or dedicated frequency generator devices. The key is producing clean, consistent frequencies at the exact wavelengths that disrupt your target pests. For maximum effectiveness, use multiple frequencies simultaneously. Insects can sometimes adapt to single frequencies, but they cannot adapt to complex acoustic environments that constantly change. Program your frequency generator to cycle through different pest control frequencies, creating an acoustic environment that no insect can tolerate. Timing is crucial for acoustic pest control. Most insects are most active during specific times of day when they're feeding, mating, or moving between locations. Target these peak activity periods with your acoustic treatments for maximum impact. Early morning and evening hours are typically most effective for controlling flying insects. The power requirements are minimal. Most acoustic pest control systems use less electricity than a single light bulb. Solar panels can easily power the entire system, making it completely self-sufficient and environmentally friendly. Unlike chemical pesticides that require constant reapplication, acoustic systems work continuously once installed. But acoustic pest control can do more than just eliminate existing pests. Certain frequencies can prevent insects from entering your garden in the first place, creating acoustic barriers that pests cannot cross. This preventive approach is far more effective than reactive chemical treatments that only work after pests have already damaged your crops. The selectivity is perfect because different insects respond to different frequencies. You can target specific pest species while leaving beneficial insects completely unaffected. Bees, butterflies, and other pollinators operate on different acoustic frequencies and remain unharmed by pest control sounds. This precision is impossible with chemical pesticides that kill everything indiscriminately. Advanced acoustic systems can even attract beneficial insects while repelling pests. Certain frequencies attract predatory insects that feed on crop pests, creating biological pest control that works alongside acoustic methods. You're not just eliminating pests, you're building acoustic environments that support beneficial insect populations. The environmental benefits are enormous. No chemical residues in soil or water, no harm to wildlife, no development of pesticide resistance, no toxic exposure for humans or pets. Acoustic pest control works with natural biological systems instead of poisoning them. It's the cleanest, safest pest control method ever developed. Yet agricultural extension services never mention acoustic techniques in their pest management recommendations. Farming magazines ignore sound-based methods while promoting chemical alternatives. Agricultural colleges continue teaching pesticide applications while dismissing acoustic methods that work better and cost less. This isn't scientific oversight, it's economic protection of industries that profit from pest problems. If farmers knew they could eliminate pests with speakers instead of chemicals, the pesticide industry would lose billions in annual sales. The agriculture industry needs farmers to believe that pest control requires purchased products, not free acoustic techniques. But the knowledge is spreading despite institutional resistance. Individual gardeners and farmers are rediscovering acoustic pest control and sharing results that confirm thousands of years of traditional wisdom. Online communities preserve and share frequency information that agricultural schools refuse to teach. Your garden can become a laboratory for acoustic pest control. Every pest you eliminate with sound waves, every chemical spray you avoid using, every beneficial insect you protect proves that this technology works despite official dismissal. You're not just controlling pests, you're preserving knowledge that sustained agriculture for millennia. The ancient sound frequency that kills pests without poison isn't just protecting your crops, it's challenging the entire framework of modern pest management that keeps farmers dependent on toxic chemicals. It's proving that the most powerful pest control technologies are often the oldest ones, refined by thousands of years of observation and experience. If this opened your eyes to what's possible with acoustic pest control, hit like so more people can discover this ancient wisdom. Subscribe because we're uncovering more traditional knowledge that could transform how we protect our food. Share this with someone who's tired of using toxic chemicals to control garden pests. The acoustic revolution starts with understanding that insects respond to frequencies we've forgotten how to use, and that the solutions to pest problems might be as simple as the right sound played at the right time. Traditional farmers knew this secret for thousands of years. Now you know it too.